Hello. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video on my YouTube channel, but as you can see by the title, this is basically a topic I've really debated talking about because honestly, it's kind of infuriating. So, basically, to fill you in on what's been going on this week, over on Twitch, there is the VTuber Takeover. Now, if you've been living under, well, before we get into what a VTuber Takeover is, if you've been living under a rock for, the past, I don't know, like 2 years, a VTuber is basically someone who uses a virtual avatar in place of their face cam. And over the past few years, they've seen a tremendous amount of growth. Um, and the VTuber takeover is basically this thing that Twitch is doing, where basically they're like promoting VTubers, but but as you can see by the title, there's one problem, and it's that I don't really. It's not really working. The prime now there's like examples is why, but it's just like the main reason why that I think it's not working is that if you look at Twitch, not a lot of the streamers who are actually VTubers who use a VTuber tag aren't even VTubers to begin with. Now, like admittedly, it has gotten a little better. Uh, when I last checked like a couple minutes ago, because it's like, except for like a few here and there, there's like they're basically all just VTubers. But yesterday when I searched the tag, it was a lot worse. Like if you like, I don't have any screenshots or anything, but if you looked, like basically like half of everyone who used the tag were basically just people like me streaming, and they weren't even like some anime girl streaming anything. Now, there is an issue with that, and it's that it basically is hurting the smaller VTubers who are, trying to compete and grow. Like I've spoken, and here's the thing, I've spoken to a few VTubers on Discord, even smaller ones, and one of them is I have seen, she's kind of concerned about her growth. I mean, there are a few times where she's a bit demotivated about it because she's not getting as much views as others. And people who are basically doing this are being really selfish because it's not really giving them a chance to grow, because they want to grow and have like a big healthy audience, but it's like people who are just like me and you, just showing your face like a traditional streamer and using a VTuber tag is basically just shoving them down the list on Twitch's list of people, and it's basically just hurting them. And it won't even give them a chance to show on the front page for people to actually find them and check out for content. And one of the biggest examples of this is one that actually happened pretty recently and is actually one I really want to talk about. It's basically the streamer that goes by the name of Little Liana. And before I go into the whole situation, please don't go and harass her. I don't want that to happen. But let me just go tell you the whole situation. So basically yesterday, Nextaku put out a tweet. I did see this in my, it wasn't really in my Twitter feed. I was kind of looking at it when I was like browsing Twitter. As you can see on the screen, Nuxtaku basically made a tweet saying Twitch decided to make an event to promote VTubers, so not only does a VTuber tag get hijacked, but why is this even on a platform? And as you can see, it's someone who is using a VTuber tag, but she's not even a VTuber to begin with. As you can see, she's basically like practically half naked on this inflatable banana and very clearly using some like knockoff Pornhub profile picture. So this is like very much against, and this is very much against Twitch TOS. And it's not only, and as I see, it's not only hurting the smaller VTubers like the one I mentioned before, it's also going against Twitch TOS, which is an issue that Twitch has had recently. Is if you've seen where that streamer only got a 7-day ban, even though she basically got fucked on camera. And now, a few days later, as you can see, Basically, she was very, very She basically made a tweet saying, "I'm a VTuber now," and then replied, "Thankfully, it only takes a tag and alert to quote, steal their viewers." So as you can see, that's a very, very selfish thing to do, and it falls into that line. They're abusing the tag. It's not letting VTubers who are trying to grow actually give them a chance to grow, and you're just basically hijacking the title just because you want to stream your fucking hot tub porn. Alright, so something I realized while I was taking a shower to cleanse myself of the unholy crimes that I had discussed about, which is why I'm dressed differently. I reminded myself that not only did that Liliana, the streamer, also stole emotes, as you can see up here. These emotes of this anime fox girl are not hers. They actually belong to a real VTuber by the name of Fox Plushie, who is a VTuber with a pretty sizable following. But people were rightly angry about this, and when they confronted her and said, "Hey, you're stealing emotes from this VTuber," she basically made the excuse of, "Oh, well, they're not really, they're not really hers. I found them on Google and I could use them." But that is stealing because they don't belong to you. Like, there are, some emotes which are kind of can be shared because, they're a little more ambiguous. But when it comes to something like that, it clearly looks like a VTuber, not like just some small VTuber. This is a pretty big VTuber that a good amount of people may know of. Some of you watching might have actually already heard of her. Heck, she might even be watching this video right now. It's not really okay to to be stealing emotes, which adds on to the other two crimes of using a tag of something that you're not, and going against Twitch TOS. Now at the end of the day, the point is, if you're like, look, and I'm doing this too, and if you're watching this and you're a streamer, like, you're not a VTuber, I want you, like, I highly recommend you do this. Actually, I want you to do this. Unless you use a virtual avatar instead of your own face, don't use a VTuber tag. If the closest thing you can do is just say, like, anime, if you're streaming like Genshin Impact, like I do on my Twitch channel, please follow me at twitch.tv/TexanSailor32. Just stay away from a VTuber tag, because the only people who should really be using a VTuber tag are, well, VTubers, as the fucking tag says. But anyway, that's basically about it. It's a pretty short video, but it is something that I wanted to talk about because it's a pretty serious issue, and even though it's gotten a little better now, I'm just hoping it doesn't happen again later this week for the rest of the event. But until next time, this is TexanSailor32 signing out.